Think back to a time when you sat quietly, thinking carefully, trying to make the right move. Maybe it was in life. Maybe it was in a game. Today, our story is about a game. A very old game. A game that traveled across deserts, rivers, and mountains for over 1,500 years. A game that kings loved, soldiers played, and thinkers studied for many centuries. Today, we listen together to the story of chess. And as you listen, you will learn something wonderful, not just about history, but about how ideas travel, how people share, and how a simple game can change the world. So take a slow breath, make yourself comfortable, and let this story begin. Our story begins in northern India, a very long time ago. It was around the year 500 CE. CE means Common Era. It is another way to say the years we use today. At this time, India was a land of great kings and beautiful cities. It was a land of color, music, and deep thinking. People in India loved to talk about ideas. They loved to study the world. They wanted to understand how things worked, how armies moved, and how wars were won or lost. And so, one day, someone had a very special idea. What if a person could practice the art of war not on a real battlefield, but on a small, square board? What if two people could sit down together and think like generals, moving small pieces like soldiers? This idea became a game. The game had a name in Sanskrit, the old language of India. The name was Chaturanga. Chaturanga means 4 parts of an army. These 4 parts were the foot soldier, the horse, the elephant, and the chariot. Each piece moved in a different way. Each piece had its own strength. The game was not simple. It asked players to think before every move. It asked them to be patient and careful. People loved it. Chaturanga was not just a game. It was a journey of the mind. And the journey of this game, from one land to another, was only just beginning. But how did it travel? That is the quiet mystery we will discover together. After Chaturanga was born in India, it did not stay in one place. Like a seed carried by the wind, it traveled. Our story now moves west, across the mountains and into the great land of Persia, which we call Iran today. It was around the year 600 CE. Persia was a powerful empire. Its kings were strong, and its cities were rich. The Persian people loved learning. They loved stories, poetry, and art. When they first saw Chaturanga, they were very interested. The game came to Persia through traders and travelers. These were people who moved between India and Persia, carrying goods, ideas, and stories along the old road we now call the Silk Road. The Persians looked at this Indian game, and they felt something deep inside. They understood it. They respected it. And slowly, they made it their own. In Persia, the game got a new name. It was called Chaturanga, and later, Shatranj. The rules changed a little. The pieces changed a little. But the heart of the game was the same. 2 players, 1 board, 2 armies. And the most important piece on the board was the king. In Persian, the king was called the Shah. And when the king was in danger, a player would say, Shah. This small word, Shah, is the beginning of the word we use today, chess. Is that not a wonderful discovery? The name of a game that millions of people play today came from an ancient Persian word for a king. And the story of this king's game was still moving forward, into new lands and into new hearts. Our story now moves forward in time and further west. It is the 7th century CE. Great changes are happening in the world. A new and powerful civilization is growing across the Middle East and North Africa. This is the world of the Arab people and the new religion of Islam. Arab armies were strong, and Arab cities grew quickly. These cities were not only places of trade, they were places of knowledge. Arab scholars loved science, mathematics, medicine, and art. They translated books from Greek, from Persian, and from Indian writers. They kept knowledge alive during a time when much of the world forgot it. When Arab soldiers and traders discovered Shatranj, the Persian form of chess, they did not ignore it. They studied it. They loved it deeply. Arab thinkers wrote long books about chess strategy. They gave the pieces new names and new meanings. Arab poets wrote about chess in their poems. Caliphs, the great rulers of the Arab world, played chess in their palaces. Chess was not just entertainment. It was a sign of intelligence. A wise person played chess well. And so the game grew in the Arab world, becoming more refined, more studied, more beloved. And then, this game began to move again. It traveled along the northern coast of Africa. It crossed the sea to Spain. It entered Europe for the very first time. And Europe was about to discover something it had never seen before. Let us now travel to Europe. The year is around 1000 CE. The continent of Europe is slowly growing. Cities are becoming larger. Trade between countries is growing. People are curious about new things. And around this time, chess arrived. It came through Spain, from the Arab world in the south. It came through Sicily, the beautiful island at the bottom of Italy. Slowly, quietly, like a river finding its way, chess entered the courts of European kings and the homes of European nobles. European people looked at chess, and they were fascinated. But they changed it. This is a very important moment in our story. Europeans saw the chess piece called the vizier, the king's most powerful helper in the Arab game. But they had a different idea. In Europe, the most powerful person beside a king was often a queen. And so, the vizier became the queen. And in Europe, the queen became the most powerful piece on the board. This was a new discovery, a new idea. The game was now different. The queen could move in all directions, fast and free. This made the game faster and more exciting. And so European chess, the chess we know today, was born around the year 1500 CE. The rules became the rules we use now. The board was the same 8 by 8 square. The pieces had their names: king, queen, bishop, knight, rook, and pawn. And from this point, chess spread to every country in Europe. Rich and poor people played it. Scholars and farmers played it. Chess was no longer only for kings. It was for everyone. But this journey was far from over. As the centuries passed, chess continued to grow. By the 1800s, chess was not just a hobby. It was becoming a serious activity, with serious competitions. Players from different countries traveled to meet each other and to show their skill. People wanted to know, who is the best chess player in the world? In 1886, a very important moment came. The first official World Chess Championship was held. Two great players sat across from each other and played a long series of games. The winner of this championship was called the World Chess Champion. This title meant something very special. It meant that this person had the greatest mind in chess in the entire world. Many great champions followed. There were players from Russia, from Cuba, from Germany, from America. Each one had a different style, a different way of thinking and playing. Chess became more than a game. It became an art. And it also became a science. Players studied chess theory, which means the best ways to open a game, to build a strong position, and to find the winning move. Books were written. Schools were opened. Children learned chess at a young age. And then, something truly remarkable happened. Something that no one in ancient India could ever have imagined when they first sat down and moved the first small piece on the first simple board, thousands of years ago. In the second half of the 1900s, something new and powerful was born. The computer. A computer is a machine that can think very fast. It can look at thousands of possibilities in a single second. Scientists began to wonder, can a computer learn to play chess? This was a fascinating question. Chess requires deep thinking. It requires planning many moves ahead. It requires something that feels like intelligence. And so, scientists built computer programs designed to play chess. At first, these programs were weak. A good human player could easily beat them. But year by year, these computer programs got better. They learned. They improved. And in the year 1997, something historic happened. A computer called Deep Blue, built by the IBM company in America, played against Garry Kasparov. Kasparov was the world chess champion at that time. He was considered one of the greatest chess players who ever lived. The match between Kasparov and Deep Blue was watched by millions of people around the world. It was not just a chess match. It was a question about the human mind. Could a machine truly think better than a person? After 6 games, Deep Blue won. The machine defeated the champion. It was a turning point. Some people felt sad. Some people felt amazed. But chess did not die. It became more popular than ever. Computer programs helped players learn faster. People used computers to study the game and improve their skills. Chess found a new home, online. And today, hundreds of millions of people play chess on their phones, on their computers, and on boards in parks and schools all around the world. And so, our story comes gently to a close. We started in northern India, around 1,500 years ago, with a quiet game on a simple board. We followed that game as it traveled to Persia, where it found a new name and a new home. We watched it enter the Arab world, where great thinkers loved it and wrote about it with care. We saw it arrive in Europe, where the Queen became the most powerful piece. We witnessed it grow into a world competition, and then meet the computer age and survive. What does this long journey teach us? It teaches us that a good idea does not stay in one place. A good idea travels. A good idea finds new people, new hearts, and new homes. And every time it arrives somewhere new, it changes a little, but its heart stays the same. Chess was always a story about thinking, patience, and strategy. That never changed. And you, my friend, are on your own journey right now, the journey of learning English. This journey also takes time. It also asks for patience. It also asks you to think, to listen, and to keep moving forward, one step at a time. Do not rush. Every story part you listen to, every new word you understand, every sentence that becomes clear is a move on your board. And every move brings you closer to where you want to be. Thank you so much for listening today on Storyline English. If this story brought you something good, something calm, something useful, please leave a comment below and tell me. I would love to know what you thought about the history of chess, or which part of the story you liked most. Subscribe to Storyline English so you never miss a new story. And come back soon, because next time, another journey is waiting for you, and I will be right here to take it with you.